Welcome to my channel, which will focus more and more on things I've learned over the years, voice lesson-wise, things that are happening currently in opera in terms of singing and great singers, average singers, bad singers. And I've made a bunch of videos already that I haven't posted, that I've strategically been going through, some things that I wanted to talk about, and I was getting so worked up, I was getting so emotional about this, that I just wanted this to be the first one, because the power of whatever compelled me. Quinn Kelsey is somebody that I bitch about all the time. And if you go on his YouTube videos, you'll find a stream of comments that also bitch about him. But I want to figure out today if we're just bitching because we're nostalgic for the records that we really like. Are we Luddites? Do we just refuse to accept any modern singer out of some calamitous presence of nostalgia in our lives, or is there something actually wrong here? Here's my belief on Quinn. Okay, we have a A+ piece of hardware, an A+ instrument in here, an A+ resonating space. Generally speaking, a high baritone with a really dark sound, which is great for Verdi, and such a talented voice that even sometimes when he makes, he can imitate a mosquito at a pianissimo for you, and it would come out and be pretty. It'd be a pretty noise because he's just that level of hardware talent. And everyone can hear it. Everyone that he steps in front of and emits any kind of noise is going to hear that this is a great, great voice. Now, what happens is when you expose any level of talent without skill development to the hardest music that has ever been written for the voice, is the talent will collapse. And video after video of this guy will see the talent collapse because the skill isn't there. Now there's something underneath that statement, and that underneath is what is the psychology and soul of the person. This is what predominantly voice teachers of today are concerned about. They're armchair psychologists. They can't actually address the problems at hand. We're going to disregard all of this. We're going to give the benefit of the doubt to Quinn Kelsey and say that he is capable and his instrument is capable of making the sounds that we desire, that we wish to hear in the most demanding repertoire out there. I think I'm taking a specific example because I think that across YouTube, I've gone on the Quinn Kelsey deep dive. I've also heard him in person, I believe, 3 times. Trovatore, Hansel and Gretel, and there was one more, and I just can't remember which. Well, I have seen him in La Boheme. That was a while ago. I saw something a bit more current as well, but definitely Trovatore and Hansel and Gretel. And what happens to Quinn is that because of the technique issue, as his voice gets exposed to phrases that demand much of the tessitura, it quits on him. He has to compensate, and it goes badly. So in a vacuum, like in a one-off, in a vacuum phrase like I'm trying to think of a really nice example here. Okay, well, the entrance of the Father. If you just asked him to sing that for you right now, it would come off probably pretty good. Now you would be able to, if you had a detailed ear, you would be able to hear right away the problems that are going to later reveal themselves in it catastrophically, but you would really like the sound because, like I said, the hardware is really good. There is a lot going right, and the resonating space is really good. Okay. So, here's the generic belief that I have about Quinn. I think whoever taught him how to sing, or whatever kind of singing he likes, has a lot to do with frontal resonance. I think that he believes in frontal resonance above all else. I don't know how much he believes in I think conceptually he believes in the lower larynx, but in practice that's not what is happening. So I think that his chief belief is resonance, and that his fight and battle for resonance, or the resonating spot, costs him a lowered larynx, which costs you everything in opera. It costs you vowel integrity. It costs you the ideal pyramid, which is that your voice just keeps getting bigger and more present as you go up the scale. It costs him musicality and artistic choices because he's limited to just trying to find this resonating space as he's getting tired and more fatigued in demanding music. It costs him vibrato. He has to straight tone because the larynx is not in a position to have the tension necessary to vibrate. It's actually, because it's in a high position, it has to have a kind of a limited amount of tension, which means that you cannot vibrate. And anyway, so let's dive in. Enough of the talk. The point is, the summary is, he's in a high position laryngally, and I believe it's because he has a faith in the resonating spot above all else. And when he feels tired, he is not questioning, you can't do it on stage, but off stage, if he's reviewing in his mind, why did that happen? I believe that he's like, it's just a matter of finding the resonating space. I don't believe that he is considering that he is way, way, way too high in the throat. Now we're going to do two things here. We're going to go phrase by phrase in Si Vendetta. I'm going to tell you what I hear. I'm going to tell you what I would do to fix things. And then we're going to go back and we're going to compare it to another high baritone who had great success singing Rigoletto, Leonucci. It's going to be a 2001 Leonucci because there's a lot of clips of him singing later and older, but when you're old, it just don't sound the same. So it's going to be 2001, still kind of the tail end of his prime, and we're going to compare and contrast his choices versus Quinn's choices in Si Vendetta. So let's jump into it. Now, the first phrase begins on an A flat, Si vendetta, tremenda vendetta. Let's see how he does on the first phrase. Okay. All right. Pretty good. Okay. Like, actually quite beautiful. Si vendetta, tremenda. Apologies, I'm a little sick. You can hear the beauty in the sound. There is a shimmer to the voice. It actually is in a pretty low position, I would say, here. And it doesn't go above middle C on this first phrase, which means that he does not have to expand and fully tilt the throat, which is, by the way, only possible when it's low enough to have the space to tilt. Okay. The first clue that something might go awry is actually in the F, coming at the end of the phrase. Detta tremenda vendetta, detta. Now, he knows instinctually that opening that up in I'm going to use my terminology, and once in a while I'll use other words that might make sense to you. He knows instinctually that vowel sung in gear 1, da, ha, ta, is going to burn a match. And the way that most people sing an here, unless it's for effect, is they're going to use a more closed vowel. Because I'm not exactly sure in Italian if you're going to want to say vendetta. 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 It's not exactly a closed vowel. But you're going to close it down a little bit. You're going to sing it basically at the bottom of a middle voice coordination. It is not exactly middle voice. It's not what we think of middle voice. But if you sing a closed vowel, any closed vowel is going to turn over to the next register earlier. So he is singing that vowel, or he is addressing that vowel properly psychologically, which the first thing is, I can't just wide ass open it. Then I cannot do that. It's going to burn a match, and I've got a big A flat, among other things, coming up. So, if you sing that vowel at that place, F3, in a low laryngeal position, data, data, it's going to come off closed and a little dark and a little unpowerful in your body. You're not going to feel a whole lot of power. No, you'll feel a corresponding resonance, but it's not going to feel like if you sang that vowel on a D4. Ah! Okay, it's going to be way pared down. Data, data. And but Quinn is already singing in a high position. Or I shouldn't say this. I should say it differently. His technique is founded on this high position, which will disallow for that sound. Data, data. You can't make that sound. But in the high position, he can still, because he knows he shouldn't open it, data, he's going to find an in-between. He's going to nasalize the crap out of it. Data. And you're going to hear something a little funny at the end. So like a neutralized sound that keeps him in a middle voice rate, a lighter registration. And that is our first clue. Something is a little bit fishy. All right, the next phrase. The next phrase is di quest'anima solo desio. Di quest'anima solo desio. That is what we're listening for. Let me say that again. Di quest'anima solo desio. What does he do? Actually, a pretty good job. The D, you might say, is a little high, but I wouldn't necessarily say that in this case. The solo came out great. That F was awesome. Let's hear it again, because I just liked it so much. All right? Pretty good. All right. We have another clue about what's coming. Hint. It's on the brightest part of this phrase. Can you guess at home what the hint is? I'm going to play it one more time. Remember, the words are di quest'anima è solo desio. Quest'anima. Ah. One more time. Let's see what we get. Oops. That ah is a little bit suspicious. He's a high baritone. This D is not a crazy demand to place on him. Questa. He is sliding ah. He's sliding in some ah to this D. You hear that? Questa. It's not quite questa. Now, full disclosure, those of you who don't know me, fully believe in vowel modification. On D does not traditionally get add. It gets a little darker, if anything. Is something that we use for at least in the way that I learned how to sing. Again, for getting vowel integrity while your position is low. But is not really, it's not the authentic rip-roaring sound that we want on D, on an ah vowel. We do want to hear ah. Let me go to my notes because I said something about this. Well, it's coming later. One more time, because I just want to make sure we're on the same page here and hearing the same thing. Again, the F was really good. A clear, locked-in register change on the O. Solo desio. His modification for that upper part of middle voice, which does require modification, was to go brighter, because, again, I believe that he believes in this spot in singing more than he believes in anything else. And up there, you're definitely going to feel it. And go on right now at home, try it. Stop. Apologize, it's D flat. Actually, that makes my case even more. The idea that he's getting to an on D flat is a little bit crazy to me. Anyway, try it at home. Start. Why would start? I don't know. Maybe you can't perceive it on the microphone. I can feel that if I go, I start shading. I do feel a change in the resonating space. I'm feeling more here. And again, because this is his faith, this is his Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, he'll do something unnecessary even to adhere to that faith. Oh, we're just talking about D flat here, but Lord, why are we not hearing on D flat in a high baritone? D flat 4 in a higher baritone or middle high baritone, because I'm not saying he's a lyric baritone at all. I'm just saying voice sits high, higher than like a Bastianini or somebody, or a Merrill, okay? By the way, type those guys in, type in any baritone of note, and find if on D flat they're shading towards A. I just don't think they're going to do that. All right, enough with that. This is another clue. Something has gone wrong. And again, I think it is this faith. I think it's this faith. So that's that phrase. Di questa anima è solo desio. The next phrase. Di punirti già l'ora s'affretta. All right, let's see what he does. Let's go back and hear the end of this last one. All right. Sorry, I'm getting excited. This is why I'm making this video. I'm getting way too excited about this because it angers me. It frustrates me. I'm also getting excited because I feel like we're uncovering clues here. Sorry. Di punirti giallora s'affretta. Di punirti giallora s'affretta. What does he do? What does he do? The O on Laura and the E on fretta, they are not where they're supposed to be. Now, we already dealt with this eta. It's the same F and the same vowel that we had on vendetta. He's doing the same thing. De, fre, fre, fre. He's neutralizing because he can nasalize a neutral there. Because in this high position, he cannot sing fretta, fretta. He can't do it. So he has to fretta, fretta. The Laura, you cannot sing O at all in middle voice pure. We know that. But you definitely cannot sing anything resembling an O, which is a super dark vowel, if it's up even a little bit. So let's go back. La, la, la. Let's have some vocal empathy here. Can we hear what's happening? Can we mimic the sound? La, la, la. All right, if I do that, I'm not trying to make hyperbolic sound. La, la, la. Well, first of all, I can definitely feel that I'm going up. I can also feel resonance, and I can also feel in the back, instead of a pocket, I'm a little more like this. Instead of this, I'm a little more like this. Okay? It's frustrating. So what is going right? All right. So if you're singing in a low position, I'm still feeling a pretty resonant. I'm feeling a lot of resonance as I sing a low O on C. I'm a lower voice type than Quinn, so of course I'm going to maybe feel a little bit more. And honestly, if I sing the way that he's doing it, I feel resonance still. I don't feel I don't feel any of that, but I do feel this. And remember, if your faith is this, what could be so wrong about just feeling that? We've already covered this enough. Listen to it one more time. Let's see. Again, check me at home. I'm hearing on this middle C, the C4, I'm hearing a neutralized vowel a bit. I'm hearing resonance. I'm not hearing space. And when I go to mimic and try to be empathetic with the sound, I do not feel space either. One more time on the D punio. Oops. Wrong video. All right. Next phrase. Okay. Here it is, guys. 24 minutes, 15 seconds. We're about to, the whole house is gonna come down right in front of us right now. Che fatale per te tuonerà. I'm gonna say it again. Che fatale per te tuonerà. Fatale. Fatale. Buckle your seatbelt and listen to what's about to happen. One thing that happens when you're singing with a high position is you get tired faster. by the way. One more time. I'm going to say everything was bad in that. One more time. Okay. Here's what he's singing at you. Que fatale per te tornerà. Que fatale, que fatale. He is singing. It's a D flat. He's modifying. So in the vowel modification chart, he's before on Questanima he went from a to a, and now he's going to e. So soon, if he didn't have a rest, if he didn't have a half measure rest, and he had to sing something similar, D flat a, we might end up at a. Seriously, that's where we're tracking right now, because it's so high, and he believes in this so much that he's fighting for any vowel that's going to work. What is going to work with my high position? He's dying. Okay. And because he's in a high spot on the fatal. Supposedly the word is fatal. Fuck. Supposedly the word is fatal. The top voice A ends up being high too, and you can hear on the cutoff. That was hyperbolic. That was an exaggeration. He's releasing up. The throat is going up when he's releasing. And then when he comes, and he doesn't sing it through. By the way, it's marked to sing it through, but he can't because it's too high a position. He cannot do what music says because the position is too high. Again, it's an exaggeration. Apologies, Quinn. I'm not trying to make you a cartoon character here. The word is fatal. We got to hear this again so you can understand what's happening here. The 20 wasn't as bad as I'm making it out to be. Sorry. But the fact that he cannot sing que fatal in a place where for a medium-high baritone with a Verdian sound needs to be able to, you have to be able to deliver an ah vowel on D flat freaking 4. You have to. I'm sorry, you have to. There is no book of singing, there is no school of singing that can possibly justify a medium-high baritone not being able to deliver the ah sound in a D flat 4 in any context ever. And why is it happening? Why is it happening? Resonance uber alles right now. That's why it's happening. And it's killing him. It is killing him. And okay, all right. So, enough. He takes a break. He's not supposed to. Why did he take a break? Not because he's an idiot, not because he doesn't know what's written in the music, but because this thing is riding high and he's got to get off of it. All right, now. Come fulmin scaria toda dia. Now, come fulmin, there's a rest. Scaria toda dia. Come fulmin scaria toda dia. Te colpire buffone saprà. Sorry. Let's go all the way through because we've uncovered a lot of clues already. Okay. See, can you hear anything weird? I'm gonna do it one. Sorry. Come fulmin scaria toda dia. Come fulmin scagliato da Dio, te colpir il buffone saprà. What's he about to do? Totally cooked, totally gassed, nothing left. Why? Is he a lesser human being? No. Did God not grant him the gift of a great voice? No. What's happening? The man is singing with a high laryngeal position, and he believes in this over everything else. And it's costing him vowel clarity, it's costing him stamina, power. All right, here we go again. One more time. Let's do it together one more time. Pretty good. Now, see, ooh, in this context, maybe could open it. Come fulmin. Maybe could open it. It's big, powerful music. Maybe you want to stay. You don't want to risk the shift of come fulmin. Maybe you don't want to risk it because it's too much of a, you're twisting on the resonance into this low top voice position. And when you've got this huge, you have to be singing big and open through this whole thing. You got the big, massive dragon breath, E flat on scagliato coming up. Maybe you want to sing it, come fulmin. Maybe you want to do that for no other reason than to maintain a consistent position. But it's definitely acceptable to turn it over. I don't have a problem with that. What I do have a problem with is skrelting an A vowel on E flat as a medium high baritone, which you're about to hear. Two things happen. All right. Scagliato da Dio. Scagliato da Dio. Scariat. Definitely if I sing an A vowel there, I'm going to get more resonance. Even though it's an E flat and it's about as high of a pitch that I personally can sustain open, even with it being one of the loudest, if not the loudest, notes in my throat, even I can make it feel more resonant by brutalizing the vowel. Scariat! Now up there, maybe you can do it. There are plenty of schools of singing that will advocate for the top of that part of middle voice that you can do an A. And it's not necessarily a bad thing, because the attempt of keeping it in this low and wide position without starting to utilize resonance is which one is more costly to you? I mean, it's worth, I think, each individual voice figuring out, which that might be me copping out and saying, I really don't know. I'm not, anyone who sings at the top of their dragon breath, the top of their middle voice, it might tend towards A, it might be a safer choice, and it might be an acceptable choice, and it will stay in a low position. But Quinn can probably sing an E natural wide open too, with the height of his voice. Or, I don't know, he sings so high, maybe his voice is a half tone lower than I think it is. I don't think so, because the E's he has with A flats. That tells me it's probably a pretty high throat. I don't think he needs to sing out. I don't. I think it's just a re-emergence of a symptom of the fundamental problem. You know, it's a high position, and he's fighting for this, and so he goes to A. I don't know if he. It's more acceptable than the D flats. That's for damn sure. Let's do it again. Let's see what we think again. No, sorry. It's too high a position. It's too high a position. Sky up! Sky up! Sky up. He should try to sing it low with deep Skya, Skya. You can start to fan out when you get that high in your register. Skya, Skya, Skya. Instead of like a C natural. Ka, ka, ha, or ke, fa, ta, ta. That should still be pretty vertical, I think. So he can start to fan out, but he should still, I think, be trying to sing an A vowel. Maybe if you're a world beater like a Cornell McNeil voice type or a Merrill voice type, maybe it's good for you. You can sing an A here, but definitely not for Quinn. No freaking way. And you can hear it. It's a high position. It's a high position still. And then the E comes out weak because you can't turn it over to an E vowel on E flat when you're high and have it come out powerful. He's trying to sing it pure, and E flat there does need to be tall Y probably. De, 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 de. De, de. Watch the masterclass with Milnes. Talking to the Juilliard kid who's singing Come dal cielo. And I know most of it is about the E natural, the larve and the terror. But before the D larve, you can hear Milnes is modeling the D. And Milnes, a baritone on D's. So he's making that sound. Die. He's going die, die, die. You can't sing. You can't do this. Can't do that. But he's high. I don't think honestly, I don't think he's thinking that much about the E. He's just like, he's got to get an E sound out. He was thinking about the skaya a lot, and now he's just like caught in the middle of the road with the truck coming. It's like, E! I know it'll come out, but you can hear him back off. He backs off. He goes, Skaya toda dio, Skaya toda dio. Because you keep it light. He's keeping it light. It's up, and he's backing off. And so it can make this light sound like that. You can have a light adduction like that. I don't think there's much thought in it. But for us listening, we can say, okay, well, E flat, baritone, can't sing a pure E, and the fact that he is singing a pure E up there, we know it's not an operatic sound. We know that it has to be a lower laryngeal position, and that when it is in lower laryngeal position, even then we need a kind of taller approach. Okay? We know that. So, next. Now I think that turn is a mistake. Because now that turn is just another symptom of he's trying to stay resonant. Come fulminskaria. Okay. I'm not good enough at YouTube to have the video going in the corner, or my video going in the corner. One day I will be. But you can tell by how he's singing on his face that it's like not going well. He's like this at the end of it. It's not going well. I really think you should have opened that. Come fall, min scariato da Dio. I think you should have opened it. Come full. It's too mezzo forte forte. It's too strength demanding. It's too open at this moment. I think you should have opened it. Yeah. Okay. You sang a good on C. Oops. I don't think you should have turned. I don't think you should have turned E down there. I think you should have kept it open E. Modified E. Scariato da Dio, ha ha, Dio. How do you do it? Yeah, he should have kept it open. He would have avoided a register change from Dia. That's what he did. Dia. It would have been smoother, and also kept him more open monkey gorilla space that you need. Again, resonance superalis is a big problem here. He's going, take Carpier. Carpier. He's Latin. Take Carpier. God. Actually, it hits that te pretty good. I don't hate what he just did. I don't like what he did with the E, or it's really high at the end. His face, this is what he's doing. Because he's so high, so he's doing the smile technique because he's so high. And he's trying to give some space anywhere that he can find it. I think most of the time if you'll see someone with a lower position singing that phrase, it'll look different. Yeah, you can tell on somebody's face sometimes when they're singing with a high or low larynx. I mean, if you're it's pretty high on you, and he's doing that. And you can hear on the that buffone, he turns over on E flat. Lower baritones, I would encourage to do that, but for him, a medium high baritone, what a great moment that would be to conclude the end of his opening of this duet, to sing it open. but he sings a backed off high before ne saprà before. He's nasalizing it before. Let's do it again. Before. I'm exaggerating. I'm trying to have some empathy with what he's doing. He's still going for this. I believe it to like the last ounce of me that he is just fighting for this the whole time. So, you can tell in his face. It's one more time all the way through. See if you note anything different than what I've said. I think that we're listening to a high laryngeal position, which has too much faith in resonance, is fighting for resonance at all costs, and is mutilating vowels in the effort to do so. So most notably on the K fatal, which is just unbelievable to me. But okay, here we go. Okay, let's skip her. It's Nadine. She sounds really good. Like, really good. We're going to skip to him coming back in on Come fu minscheriato da Dio te colpire il buffone saprà colpire te il buffone te colpire sarà. Let's see what he does there. Okay. Well, actually, see, his conception is so off that these notes, which are kind of famous in a way in this duet, no. I mean, it's just totally, it's just unconvincing. He's not in this confident, low, monkey ape yell that we're all trying to get to in opera. And because of that, you know, like, even these kind of dramatic outbursts come off like not good, not professional. No. I mean, he's singing Rigoletto at the Met, guys. Like, what sound is that? See, even that was high. No. He just can't yell. He can't bear down and make that frickin' sound that we're looking for. This is just too high up. I think it's faith in the resonance. Not as a resultant, but as the means itself to the end, goal. Where everything else is a means to the end of resonance. That's what I think. She's doing it all really well. I mean, I think this is her role above everything else I've seen her in. Gilda with Nadine is great. Let me sing this phrase. See, now he's in that state where he's tax-free because he didn't see anything while she was singing. So it sounds, but the same phrase sounds better right now than it did just previously, because he's had enough time. There's enough time for his muscles, I guess, to get reoxygenated or something. So again, like I told you at the beginning of this podcast, when he starts a phrase, any phrase, it's going to sound good because it's just such a damn good instrument, such a damn good resonator, world-class, top 10. It's just that it's being used in this way. So what you get is some of the things that I talked about, like that deal, is the way that I think is better. Deal. He does it. Now, he starts like crap. He goes, he's singing it like this face. It's the vowel is O, by the way. He's going like for dramatic effect, but you could do it if you were in a lowered position and sounded Italian, but he doesn't sound Italian because he's in a high position, so it just comes off. It's coming off bad. Like the no's are coming off bad because the position is wrong. He could have that same intent, but because it's high, it sounds like autistic instead of biting and scheming or whatever he's trying to sound like. And his face, he's going like this. Again, symptom of a high larynx is this kind of thing. The Fool was good. He's getting to a lowered position. Again, when you're at this level, as not good as I think that this is going, you're going to make some very good sounds by the fact that this is so damn good. This is so damn good. I mean, we shouldn't be surprised that once in a while, Quinn Kelsey's going to make a sound that makes us go, hey, that was really, really nice. So that Fool, really, really nice on the C. It turned it over. I didn't feel that it was pinched like the one before. And again, it has to do with the fact that he just re-engaged. It's not in the context of a big phrase. It's the beginning of him singing now longer phrases. Good. Again, that skaya. But that D was what we wanted. D. It was not the D. Way better in my opinion. The Te was great. The Kohupir was great. So it was really good. And then D. Dude, can you hear the difference? Can you hear how he is in a actually maybe perfect spot and then just sacrifices it all because he doesn't either want to or know to modify it to this tall Y or something dark and nasty on the E flat, and then he's like per colpi. That's what I mean. It's like Warren turns into undergrad out of nowhere. It's so good. It's just like, dude, man, you were like so close. So how would we address it? Quinn, sing te col pier, te col, the same every time, and then pier, same pressure that you use to get to te and to make the turn. Te col pier. It will a little release in pressure because you're in a lower frequency here, so you need to balance it out again, but the same darkness you use to get to te, and then more vertical space, cut this crap, and then on the buffone you either have to sing well, for him, medium high voice, we should encourage a big open sound. And then you can modify to like AW probably. If he wants to close it, it's got to be more cinched in. It's kind of an in-betweener right now. Let's see it. No, he's just because he's not tired right now because he had that break. He's just nasalizing middle voice like he did for the Skalya. He's nasalizing it in the same way. He's not singing in this time. He's just nasalizing and the position is up. The space is a bit down. And he's just driving it through there into something that's neither here nor there. Not an exciting sound. It's just on the. It's just not. It's not a low position. So because it's not a low position, we can't do either a nice open kind of AW modification, and we also can't turn it before. We cannot close it very well either. So we just kind of we're kind of doing that. This is the end, by the way. They're singing together. It's just he's going. Another one. I don't really have much to say on the computer, except he needs to just kind of take the gas off on the diction. Patter-ish singing. The key to patter is just to keep this like a parachute and and do like barely what's necessary in the front. Because if you focus on the diction with those note lengths, it's just like your larynx goes out your eyeballs. And you over-adduct and no, you just nothing matters here. Just get through it. Get through it with this position. That's how you do it. Colpirete buffone, colpire sopra, colpirete buffone, colpire sopra, sì, colpire il buffone. He's about to go with a really high laryngeal position and just make the weakest damn sound you've ever heard. So he was in a low position. That's what he did. He switched. Instead of taking it up, he went, because he just, he doesn't believe Anyway, so we should encourage what he's doing on middle C, because it's actually happening pretty well throughout the duet. Sorry, I don't know what all that was just about. keep going with this nice sound he's got on C. But he makes this huge switch. Let's hear it again. You hear that? I mean, it's like you can hear the shimmer, you can hear the depth, you can hear the color, and then, he just resonalizes or something, and when he does that, it just goes up, and you can't get a lot of really good rigolettos. That's a really nice note before they sing the A flat. But he just does not keep it low. He does not engage in this big, dark, chocolatey awesomeness. And he just, it's maybe the best example of flipping out of a good noise and into crap of the whole thing so far. Again, a really, really high voice. So what I hear at the end there is he sings the he's basically singing two vowels and in a high laryngeal position, and so it's like it's good by the fact that, you know, again, this is like an A+ quality piece of hardware that he's driving that sound through at the extremes of two registers. The A flat is pretty corresponding to E flat for him and where it sits in that register. I think that E and A natural are probably the tippy tops of either one of them. So he's singing two vowels in a high position, and that's why you get the kind of voice crack release, because he's releasing from a high spot. Actually, you know what? There's a little bit more modification in that A flat than I previously thought. Those notes were not particularly terrible. They could be improved for sure. And part of the improvement might not even be the position necessarily of the A flat, but just the practice of the release, which he could achieve not even with the necessity of sustaining it, which would just, that's matches you don't want to burn too much of in practice. You just kind of how do I say, hit it real quick and come off with that like mild release down, or just practice any kind of like touching of that note without the idea of setting it up and cracking on it. Sorry. It could also be a result of fatigue at the end there. Anyway, now we're going to do a side-by-side to conclude the video. Nucci singing the same thing. I'll point a couple of things out. Hold on. One, Kelsey has a better piece of hardware than Nucci does, but Nucci just uses his better. And so you're going to get better sounds, more consistent sounds throughout. Nucci's also using a lot more energized breath support. So here we go. Note how Nucci sings Vendetta, how he sings Anima, and also actually how he finishes the word Desio. Let's see. That should have been clear as day. Fatal. Okay. Skipping ahead. All right, that's all she wrote. Please, in the comments, you can leave if you think that I need to go into more technically, or that I was saying things in an unclear way, or that I need to revise the language. The goal of this is to figure out what the hell is going on. This guy's singing Rigoletto. This guy is like the Rigoletto of the latest Met production. And many of us are wondering why. And not only am I wondering why, I'm also wondering what can be done. What can be done with this voice? This voice, touched by God, clearly, to be great, but is being used in not a great way. He is, again, I think the simplest answer is that he is fighting for resonance here and considering everything else secondary by in the words of Moneyball, there's resonance, there's 50 feet of crap, and then there's everything else that he may or may not be doing. But he believes in resonance above all. And it's costing him, I would say, the kind of vocal performances that we would hope to hear from that level of vocal talent. And it should be clear when you put him up next to a less quality voice but a better technique, just how much room for growth and improvement there is, even at however old he is now. Early 40s, he could still get it done. It would take 12 to 18 months of getting with somebody who knew what they were doing, and I think he would be fine. But it would be a total overhaul, psychologically, spiritually, along with the physicality of it. But I think it's possible, and the symptoms of his belief are present all the time in his singing, in my opinion. And the way out is clear. Got to be lower. Got to have a better... You can only do everything else that I'm talking about, like approaching vowels in a certain kind of way, and approaching resonance and space in a certain kind of way, with like just establishing something lower. Anyway, there'll be more. This was way longer than I hoped for, but I had to ramble. I had to ramble. And I hope that there's something here that's clear, like why it's not good, because it's not just by accident that's not good. There's a specific frickin' reason, and it can be addressed. The only way forward with singing is to believe that problems can be addressed, and it can be addressed, and that throat is capable of true historic greatness. It's just not happening right now. That's all.